You're 1-0. What were your overall thoughts about the way your team
Well,
played?
that's the best part, you know, we're 1-0, the object is to win, and we did that, so that's great. It gives us a place to start, and there was certainly some real positive things that I really liked and I really enjoyed, but you know, we've had some scrimmages and, you know, obviously practiced a lot, and this is our first time, you know, playing in a real game in front of people. I think we're a little out of character in some ways, and some things, you know, kind of showed themselves. But all in all, I'm glad that, obviously glad we won. Very proud of the offensive rebound effort. Felt good about the way we came out of halftime. Felt very poorly about the way we, you know, they're very well coached. And they muddied the game up with about 13 minutes or so to play. They pressed, they muddied it up, and even threw a box and one. I mean, you name it. And they did a great job of, you know, making sure there's a lot of possessions. And I think our guys fell into, and it's easy to do, a false sense when there's 10 minutes to go and you're up, whatever we're up, or 7 minutes to go. And so it's a great lesson. I was telling them even then, I go, there's a lot of possessions, there's a lot of game left, and I thought we let down. I thought in the last 4 minutes we could have certainly, I think we really learned something, how to finish a game. I don't think we finished the game well. You know, our defense got soft late. We didn't execute press offense well. We didn't turn it over but once, I think, but didn't execute it to try to attack and score, which we're going to need to do. And then even really late when the game was won, you know, we were trying to work on, you know, making them take a little time and maybe get a shot and miss, and, you know, things that you have to do to win a close game. And our defense just, I don't know, last minute felt like every time they touched the ball they were going to score. So didn't close the game well, but again, place to start, long way to go, but we're on the plus side.
Talk about lessons learned here and the last minute, 2 minutes here and there. Things got a little bit hit and miss. A point guard is obviously going to help that here. With those guys currently on the roster, what does that do for them just from a point guard's mentality, all of your combo guards?
You talking about the ones that played tonight?
Yes.
Yeah. You know, we suited 8 tonight. A couple guys are hurt. You know, they'll be back. And of course, we've got the waiver situation. So we suited up 8. I think this was great for us. We have to learn, you know, because we don't know how the waiver situation is going to go. We have to learn to play with this group. These are the point guards. And it wasn't like we coughed the ball up and turned it over, but I think we needed to, whenever you get pressed, you need to attack it. And we, I don't know, maybe scored once or twice at the back end of it, you know, and you got to make them pay. Otherwise, they're just going to sit in it for 12 minutes like they did. You know, we never made them pay. And yet we didn't turn it over, but they got out of it what they wanted. And it wasn't just our guards' fault. It was really the total execution. And it was out of character, something we practiced a lot. And, you know, in the heat of the game, we just got a little scattered.
What do you think of Tyson and just kind of the offensive rebounding he brought and scoring and all that?
You know, he in junior college, he averaged, you know, it's junior college, he averaged 12 rebounds a game. Think about that as a guard. You never, ever, well, anybody averaging at any level to average 12 rebounds a game is kind of crazy. And he did that in junior college in a very, very good junior college league. He's a great athlete, and he's a tough competitor. To get 6 offensive rebounds, 5, I guess, 5. Ron had 6. You know, that's so good. There's nothing, I mean, there's very few things better to me than guys going and just crashing the heck out of the offensive board. To me, offensive rebounding is homeowner's insurance. You know, you have, if you got insurance on your home, you got insurance when guys miss shots. If you're going to go get a bunch of them back, it's insurance, you know, and that's what makes your offensive efficiency great. If you can, you know, you miss, you get it back. You miss, you don't get it back. You miss, you get it back. Heck, you're pretty good, you know, from that standpoint. So will we do this every night? No, we'll not get 50% of our misses back every night. I wish we could, but it is something that we really emphasize. As happy as I was about the offensive rebounding, just as displeased our defensive rebounding was not close to what it needs to be. On the other hand, you got to hold your opponent to roughly 25% of the shots they miss, they get back, and we gave them far more than that. So we're better at one end than the other. So we gotta try to even that out.
You know, obviously the season started, and you're obviously still waiting on these waivers. Just what's your thought about that in the situation?
I'm
you're
sorry,
in?
say it again.
The season started, obviously, and you're still waiting on waivers. What's
Yeah.
your thought on that?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts on that. I have some very, very strong thoughts on that, and for now, I'm gonna keep most of those to myself. No disrespect, but I think I'm probably better off doing that, and I'll just say my thoughts are, we're very hopeful. We are very positive because these are strong cases, and, you know, we'll let it play out, and hopefully it'll go in our favor. And I'll just leave it at that today.
Do you have any idea on the timing?
No, no, you know, you probably read that there's a lot of them still out there, you know, there's a lot of undecided waivers, so my guess, and I don't have, honestly, much more information, you may have more than I do, but my guess is there's probably a lot of work going on right now, you know, around there trying to make decisions. I do appreciate that they're not just making rash negative decisions, just say, no, 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 at least, you know, so that I do feel very good about that. You haven't seen, at least I haven't, a whole, you know, 45 no's come across here in the last week or so. So I'm guessing there's a lot of work being done, and again, with what we have, the information that we have given them, I mean, I'm just gonna stay positive about it.
Isaiah, when asked about Tyson, said, we see this every day in practice, and told us you're gonna see stat lines like this all the time from Tyson. Did Tyson do anything that surprised you tonight?
I hope we do. I hope he's exactly right on that. No, not really. He did not. I don't know if he can have stat line. That's. I hope he has that stat line every night. But he's a very good player, and what he is, a very versatile player. You know, he can score. He can shoot a three. He can drive and pull up. He can post. He can get an offensive rebound. He can get fouled. He can go to the rim. And that's a good package, you know, that's a really good package. Defensively, he's long, he gets his hands on balls, he's a good rebounder. You know, I agree, he did it, you know, most of his life, he's always kind of been a stat sheet stuffer, and I hope he continues to do that.
Speaking of stat sheet stuffers, you look at Ferran and what he did, rebound short of a double-double, first game as, you know, sophomore year, not a bad start. Assess his performance out there.
Yeah, we've kind of challenged, he and I are sort of challenging each other. I feel like he's capable of being a double-figure rebounder average, you know, and there's very few of them to average 10 rebounds or more a game, but I do think he's capable. I'm sure he's very disappointed because he's already one below the average, and I don't like guys being selfish at all. It's something we preach, but I want guys to be selfish rebounding. That's I always tell them, you want to be selfish, rebound. You can be the most selfish rebounder out there. I don't care. And I would love for him to average 10 rebounds a game. I think he's capable. He's just got a knack. He's aggressive on the boards. He could help himself by defensive rebounding more and better. Tonight he was a great offensive rebounder, but yeah, he should be disappointed. I'm proud of him for it, but he should, you know. I want him to feel disappointed when he doesn't get 10 rebounds. I want him to feel that way.
Do you feel like you have out of 8 guys that played and suit up, you have 3-point shooters, good guys that can, you know.
Yeah, you know, that of all the things, and this is every coach is this way that I've ever known, including myself, is like, you know, when you shoot poorly, we were 5 for 21, what are we, 23% from 3. Everything else is so magnified. Every defensive mistake, every offensive rebound they get, every time you turn it over, we turned it over 13 times. You wish it was only 10, you know, and every single one of those is so magnified. But had we hit 3 more threes, we're having a whole other feeling about everything that's going on. And it also, as we all know, fuels your defense sometimes, you know, and we never got it going there. But that one I'm not worried about because I feel like we have a lot of good 3-point shooters, a lot. And I think part of that is just the first night playing in front of people. We haven't played in front of anybody. We did 2 scrimmages, And, you know, it's different. We got guys, I haven't played in a year and, you know, a long time in front of people, even our returning guys. You gotta get comfortable. I think when we get comfortable, I believe and I have confidence that we have a very good three-point shooting team. What we need to make sure is that we're a great defensive team and a great rebounding team. That's what's gonna get us where we wanna go.
Speaking of getting comfortable, Everett Ray gave you 7.5 minutes, and how guarded are you with measuring his minutes, and what did you think
No,
of
I
this?
should have played him more. That one's on me. It wasn't anything to do with injury. He didn't do anything wrong.
How'd he look to you?
You know, he did well. He did well. That one's, I feel bad about that. It's just, I don't know, the flow of the game and you know, he hadn't played very much, so the other, you know, some of the other guys, some of our bigger guys have had more experience. But that's my biggest regret leaving here. I should have played Everett more, for sure.
It's easy to look at Tyson. What'd you think of the other new guys, Charles and Emmanuel?
I thought they did really well for their first game, you know, and I think they're going to really, they're both very talented, and I think they only just scratched tonight what they can do. I'm sure it felt a little strange to them, but I've got a lot of confidence in both of them, and they're very, very talented players. They're just young, you know, they're just getting their feet wet.